Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, we have a lot of news to cover. We have a few concerns that need to be addressed, and we will compare Zebec to Telcoin a little bit, as some people have been asking for my opinion. Listen, right? We'll start with this, and you might be thinking, well, why are we starting with this? Because it's all going to make sense. So we can see St. Louis Blues jersey giveaway, right? Spot our Zebec and uphold ads during tonight's games. Okay. Snap a photo and post it on X for a chance to win the jersey. And then we can see they said this: our Uphold X Zebec ads for tonight's games are being rescheduled due to a creative change. The jersey giveaway will still happen on the next game date. We'll share the new date soon. Okay, we can see some people were not happy, right? We can see, so this never happened. Explain Photoshop. Is this a picture of what could have been scam, right? Well, listen, people call scam right away. It doesn't really matter, right? We can see a little bit of negative comments, some concerns, and etc. But look, this is what Simon had to say. Quick update on our NHL placement this weekend. As we are the first token company to directly advertise with the NHL, the league requested extra time to approve our ads. The Zebec team and our agency are working with the NHL to secure approvals on new creative and adjustment placement ads, or sorry, schedules. So we can see, right, some people are a little bit suspicious for this, right? Some people are saying thank you for clearing things up. Some people don't really mind. Someone says, yeah, dude, not a good look. Which, by the way, if you're gonna cry about one thing that's gone a little bit sour and you just completely ignore everything that's been done in the last 6 months, you are part of the problem. This is why you just, I don't know. I'm not gonna go into a huge rant, but like, people just need therapy sometimes. Seriously, right? If you see everything that Zebec has done over the last 6 months, and then one little slip up happens and you start crying, seriously, get a grip on life. But look, some questions are valid, right? But that begs the question: if Zebec were still waiting on approval from the NHL, why did Zebec release PR ahead of time detailing specific dates? Surely, at the time of advertising future dates, Zebec should have had approval done ahead of time. Now, this is actually a fair question, right? This is a fair question. This isn't some cringe statement. And look, right? Here's the deal, right? I cannot say for sure who's in the wrong, but I know in life sometimes there's been things that have been approved on my end. I request it, everything looks good. And then after, it's like, no, actually, can we please get more verification? Actually, this needs to be a little bit changed. Or, oh, we did actually approve this, but now this actually doesn't go with our policy. And it happens sometimes. It happens. And just because it's the NHL, that doesn't mean that, something won't go sour, especially that, as, he said, Simon, as we are the first token company to directly advertise with the NHL. So, you know, if that's the case, there could have been a little bit of a hiccup, a miscommunication. I doubt personally Zebec jumped the gun on this. I really, really doubt it. I truly do believe like there's like a 95 to 97% chance it was just directly from the NHL. I really doubt that, Simon or the team messed this up, considering we have seen what Zebec has done over the last couple of months. So for me, I truly don't believe they messed up. And if something did mess up or whatever it may be, I'm sure it's going to be fine. A lot of people panic instantly. A lot of people have the glass half full mindset, but I guess half empty. I don't even actually no half empty. Half empty is a negative one, but for me, it is what it is, right? Of course, it always sucks to see something go wrong, but they've literally been perfect with everything else for the last few months. So you know what? It happens. I mean, it just happens. It's not like they've consistently been messing up. So it is what it is. It is what it is. We have this post from Farm My Tears that did create, a nice little comparison between Zebec and Telcoin. And then after this, I'm going to give my quick opinion. The payments narrative is heating up faster than the market can price it. Zebec is screaming for attention while Tel quietly sits at rank 89 with real traction. Low caps make noise, but adoption moves in silence. This is not hype contest, it is a liquidity war. Well, first of all, right, Zebec isn't screaming for attention. Let's just get this straight out the way. Okay. Of course, we all want our cryptos to have attention, but the reality is Zebec has been dominating in the background. And that's the truth. And we will really have this confirmation if we do get the ISO 20022 compliance approved. Okay, so this statement I don't really agree with. Zebec plays the role of the aggressor newcomer, low cap, high beta, sharp candles, perfect for traders who want velocity over fundamentals, but payments are not a momentum game. Payments are a infrastructure. Speed matters, but utility decides the winner. And that is where Tel enters the arena. Okay. I've seen some people also did say that they want me to cover Telcoin. So we can start doing that. We can start doing that. Tel has something Zebec cannot fake: time in the market. While most of crypto chased whatever meta was trending, Telcoin built integrations, expanded across rails, and accumulated real users. Sitting at rank 89 is not a fluke. It is the market admitting this one actually works. So, I did purposely pick this kind of post, because some people are saying things like this, and I personally disagree. I think the data, as we've been covering on this channel for months, would you know, kind of go against what most of the statement is. Okay, look, at the end of the day, right? Telcoin, Zebec, if you want to see them as a one for one or you want to see them as competitors, I don't mind competition, by the way, right? Some people don't see it as, the same boat, but some people are making comparisons already. You can see that. And it's not just this post. I'm just talking about in general that I've seen even on social media, other posts, even sometimes in the comments, right? I've seen people make comparisons. So that's why I'm just bringing this up. The contrast between the two could not be clearer. Zebec wins the volatility battle. It moves faster. Its candles pull liquidity like a magnet, and risk on players love that setup. But when the market hunts for actual payments infrastructure, not just hype, velocity, and rotation favors projects with throughput partners and staying power, exactly the zone Tel occupies. Look at the signals around Tel: stable partner networks, integrations with real usage, liquidity thick enough to absorb inflows, recognition outside crypto Twitter, not just inside it. Meanwhile, Zebec operates on a different axis entirely. It is a momentum engine, explosive, unpredictable, and perfect for short cycle rotations. But long term, payment rails are not shaped by speed, they are shaped by adoption curves. The real question is not which one pumps first, but which one survives the liquidity rotation. Zebec can deliver aggressive upside in a short window. Tel can capture the majority of long term flow when the sector matures. Both can run, but they run for different reasons. This is a classic fight: the fast challenger versus the established network. And in payments, giants are built on volume, not vibes. Which this is a garbage statement. This is an Zebec built on vibes. This is just garbage. So the battle lines are simple: Zebec equals speed, Tel equals system. And sitting at rank 89 is not a cap, it is a warning. You are underpricing the payment heavyweight. So, I chose this statement because, I saw a little bit of things that I disagreed with, but this is just the way some people think, right? This is just the way some people think. And sometimes I think it's good to have these types of conversations. Like I said, in general, I'm never opposed to a crypto having competition because I think if someone wants to be genuinely the best in their sector, that will actually always put a little bit of positive pressure on them, right? If they're going to be trash, they're going to be trash. And if they're not going to, make it in the marathon, they're not going to make it. It's just how it is, right? It is how it is. And, that extra pressure really shows, for me, sometimes the true colors of cryptos, people, projects, anything, right? Anything. But yeah, I kind of disagree with most of the statement. I don't think Zebec is just hype. We've been literally covering news on Zebec for months now. We had a recap. There is real adoption behind this. This isn't just vibes. So for me, this is a pretty garbage post. I would give it a 2 out of 10 in my personal opinion. But like I said, this is how some people think. And like I said, I've been seeing comparisons about Telcoin and Zebec for a little bit. So I just want to talk about it. Listen, trillions, as I said in my spaces, is about to flood risk assets, right? We can see all those holding solid real world assets. The number one token this cycle, in my opinion, at Zebec. So we'll play this from the Orange Man himself. Like I said before, you don't need to like the Orange Man, but I do definitely think Orange Man is better for the crypto um, this sphere than the other side. Now, I know some people are going to debate, well, why are prices down? But that's a whole nother topic. So let's see what Orange Man has to say.
Investing in America, $20 trillion. No country's ever done anywhere even near that, like a fraction of that. Biden did less than $1 trillion in 4 years. I did 20 trillion. We're going to do over 17 trillion in 8 months. By the time we end, we could do over $20 trillion. There's never, in China, no matter where you go, there's never been anything like it. We are building up something that's unbelievable. And a big part of that are the tariffs, because they don't want to have to pay the tariffs, because it's so unsustainable that they come and build the pharmaceuticals and the chips and all of the things. They're coming into the United States and they're building them. It's a miracle what's happening. We are building the greatest country in the world, economically, greater than we've ever been before, investing in America.
Well, that last statement, that's just not true. But um, yeah, you know, I believe truly 2026 is going to be the year of altcoin season. Now, listen, right? If you've been watching this channel for a long time, you know I gave certain predictions, but that was just a prediction. But I've always said that, we still don't have confirmation for altcoin season, but we are getting closer. And when I look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, when I look at the other charts that are completely relevant for this, I see massive, massive, massive green flags and massive signs for there to be a lot of money flooded in alts in 2026. And, uh, I believe America is going to be pumping up these cryptos, same with other big institutions. I mean, we saw what happened on October 10th when it was the opposite. They absolutely destroyed the markets. And that was calculated, right? That was calculated because they wanted to destroy the downside, um, so they can start preparing for the upside that's going to happen in 2026, because they don't want any people to win with these next level long positions. So yeah, we can see that's what Orange Man said. We can also see this. DailyPay is an on-demand pay service that allows employees, am I tripping? Yeah, to access their earned wages before their scheduled payday. DailyPay's revenue was 235 million in 2024 and is in the range of 100 million to 1 billion. It's important to note that some sources report different figures, such as 205 million. As of January 2025, DailyPay was also reportedly preparing for a US IPO. DailyPay and Zebec are partners, not competitors. Zebec provides the underlying blockchain infrastructure that enables DailyPay to offer real-time payroll options, including stablecoin wages to its clients. And we can see, boom, very, very nice. Boom. And this is the main thing, right? DailyPay and Zebec are both in the payments and payroll space, but with different approaches. Zebec Network is a blockchain based company focused on real time, per second payroll through payment streams, aiming to revolutionize how workers are paid. DailyPay is an existing non blockchain service that provides on demand access to earned wages before payday. A partnership exists between DailyPay and Zebec, allowing for a combination of their technologies to offer employees access to their earnings through both platforms. So we can see very, 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 very nice. That's just a little bit more Zebec information and news that I wanted to cover for you guys. But yeah, ultimately, that is going to be it. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.